Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be working on the simple chevron stitch. I have not done it yet on my channel, so I thought it would be a good stitch for beginners. I do have quite a few subscribers that are beginners, so I thought that they might get some use out of this stitch because it teaches increases and decreases, and you know, you have two decreases and an increase, and that's, you know, a skill that you need to learn pretty much right away. So this is a good stitch that teaches that. So I thought I would go ahead and do a tutorial on it. So the things that you're going to need, you're going to need your yarn, whatever you're using for your project. I'm using worsted weight yarn, but you could pretty much use any yarn you wanted for this. It just depends on the project that you're doing. So go ahead and figure out what project you're doing and choose the right weight of yarn and the amount that you need. Like I said, I just did a swatch today, so I just had some scrap yarn sitting around. I went ahead and used a 5mm crochet hook. I would suggest you just go ahead and use whatever your yarn suggests. That's an easy way to figure out what hook size you need really quickly. You're also going to need, it might be useful if you have some stitch markers, so I just have some paper clips. I don't think that I even use them in the tutorial, but you know, it might be easier for beginners to mark out the increases and the decreases with stitch markers, but you don't have to if you don't have them. It's no big deal. And of course you're going to need your usual supplies, your scissors, your yarn needle, and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the tutorial now. For your starting chain, you need a multiple of 10 plus 1. So I'm going to be doing a multiple, or I'm going to be doing 20, so I need to chain 21. Don't forget that extra chain because it'll throw your count off if you do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to chain 2 more to count as our first double crochet. So go ahead and put your finger on that last stitch that you just did and chain 2 more. And we're going to go back into that stitch with a double crochet, the one you have your finger on. So technically it's the 3rd stitch from the hook. And we're working in the back loop for this first chain, or the chain row. So we're just going to put a double crochet in there. So at the beginning and at the end, we will have 2 double crochets in the beginning stitch and at the end stitch. So keep that in mind. So we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And over the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a decrease. So for those of you that have not done a multiple stitch decrease, I'll go ahead and work it with you. So for this first stitch, we're going to yarn over and go into the stitch like normal. Yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to go through 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, and we're going to leave them there. So you're going to yarn over again and go into the next stitch. Remember, we're working in the back loop. Yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to go through those first 2 stitches. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So you should have a total of 5 loops on your hook. You're going to go yarn over and go through those first 3. So just like that. So you should have 3 stitches left on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 3 of those. So that is a 3-stitch decrease. So for the next 3 stitches, we're going to put 1 double crochet in each one of those. And then in the next stitch, we're going to put 3 double crochets in that stitch for an increase. So that's 1, 2, and 3, all in the same stitch. Okay? So in the next 3 stitches, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And we are to our next decrease section. So over the next 3 stitches, we're going to decrease. So once again, we're going to yarn over just like normal, go into that stitch, pull up a loop. We're going to go through the first 2 loops on our hook. So you'll have 2 loops left. You're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You're going to go through those first 2 loops. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So you should have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through the first 3. Now you'll have 3 loops left on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through those last 3. So we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And once you get past this first row, it's really simple. You can pretty much just see what you need to do. And then in our last stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So remember, we're always increasing on those the last and the beginning stitch. Alright, so that is what we have so far. So you can see that we kind of have this, it kind of looks like a W. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that beginning stitch. And I need to put 1 double crochet in the next 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And over the next 3 stitches, I need to decrease. So you can kind of see where we decreased the previous 3 stitches. It's kind of this big jumbled of stitches right here. So once again, we're going to yarn over just like before, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, leaving that last 2 on our hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2, so we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, go through that next stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and go through the first 3 loops. We have 3 loops left on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through those last 3. So we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And in the next stitch, we're going to increase, so we need 3 double crochets into that 1 stitch. And 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. and we're to our decrease again. So we're going to decrease the next 3 stitches. Once again, we're going to yarn over and go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. So we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through those first 2 stitches, 3 loops left on the hook, yarn over and go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and go through the first 3 loops on our hook, and then yarn over and go through the last 3. So 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then in that last stitch, which is our chain 2 from the beginning row, we're going to put 2 double crochets into it. Because remember, we increase at the beginning and the end. So that is what you should have so far. And you basically just repeat that until it's the length that you want it to be. So I'm going to do one more row with you. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to put 2 double crochets into that beginning stitch. And then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. It's 1, 2, and 3. And we are to our decrease section, so we know that over the next 3 stitches we need to decrease. So we know we need to decrease the next 3 stitches. So we're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through the next stitch, pull up a loop, go through those first, so we have 5 loops on the hook. We're going to go through the first 3 loops, and then we're going to yarn over and go through the last 3. And that is our decrease. So we're going to put 1 double crochet in each one of the next 3 stitches. And that's 3. And then our next stitch is our increase stitch, so we're going to put 3 double crochets into that next stitch. And then in the next 3 stitches we're going to put 1 double crochet in each. And then we're to our decrease section again, so yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, we have 5 loops on our hook, yarn over, go through the first 3 loops, 3 loops left on the hook, yarn over and go through those 3. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then our last stitch here, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that is what you will repeat over and over again until your project gets the length that you need it to be. So if you're doing a scarf, probably around 70 inches, these make really cute scarves, especially if you're using a color changing yarn. But they're a really good stitch for a beginner because it teaches you how to increase and decrease, and you're doing it over and over again. So you you know, you can get the hang of it really quickly. Although most decreases, you don't decrease 3 stitches at once. You normally only decrease 2, but it's still a good way for you to understand how to increase and decrease. So I hope this helped anybody out who is wanting, you know, to learn a new stitch. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.